There's a chill in the air. Must be fall. Join me for a tale of Halloween. You will experience tales of horror, ghosts, and death. It is not recommended for the weak at heart. Listen in the dark. It's more fun that way. This is Weekly Spooky.
All right, my friends, it is officially October, Shocktober, if you will, and I will, and welcome to Weekly Spooky. I am your host and narrator, Henrik Kuto, and I am excited because we have, this month, 5 Halloween-themed horror stories starting today. And I'm pretty excited, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little warm out here for me to put out a proper jack-o'-lantern, but I have my little, foam plastic ones that you plug into the wall, because I believe a doorstep should never be without a jack-o'-lantern, even if it's fake. I know that that's sacrilege to some. There will be real jack-o'-lanterns soon, but I wanted some that can't spoil, but they're so sun-bleached that as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going to be hanging out in the backyard, spray painting my pumpkins, which sounds like a euphemism, but I digress. We have a really fun, creepy story for you tonight. A story about privilege, about what happens when you take and take and take because you can, and never once considering that maybe, just maybe, you could be a victim of the same thing, but so much worse than your wildest nightmares. So enjoy this story, and afterward I'll be here to hang out with you and talk a little bit, but for now, let's read the story. The Halloween Heist by Rob Fields. I don't mind telling you how great it is to wake up to a nice, warm, female body most every morning, especially during the fall and winter months. Take this morning, for example. I'm kinda in between sleep and being awake, but I can feel the soft, warm, naked body I'm spooned up with. Then I hear her moaning softly and feel her move to lay on her back. Okay, now I'm fully awake. I start feeling her up and then we kiss. Soon we're having some really awesome morning sex. I usually only do morning sex when the night before was just as incredible. We end up going a couple of rounds before we finally decide we're satisfied. Now I remember the girl I brought to my loft. Her name is Kitty. Oh yeah, I remember the names of all the girls I've ever slept with, and for good reason. I'll get to that. I met Kitty at Shaker's, a bar that Strickfield University's students tend to hang out at. I usually frequent a few of the local bars and even a few outside of Strickfield to find that perfect girl, or the occasional woman, to take to bed, at least for a night. Kitty really stood out for me last night. I mean, this girl is perfectly stacked. Great body, great face, awesome rack, hot ass. Normally, I only have to turn on the charm to get a girl to come to bed with me. But once in a while, the girls just come right to you. That was Kitty. I bought Kitty a few drinks and just talked with her about whatever she wanted to talk about. See, that's one of the ways you're guaranteed to get girls into your bed. They need to know you're genuinely interested in them. They just want to know you care. And of course, you need to make sure you keep your body finely toned, which means watching your diet and making sure you work out most every day. Getting back to Kitty, the girl was practically begging me to take her to bed. She wore a very form-fitting dress that basically told me she wasn't wearing any underwear. I was right when I got her back to the loft and got her dress off. Kitty and I pounded each other many times last night. We just couldn't get enough. Normally, after I've had a girl for a night, we part ways. Sometimes I'll get a girl that wants more than just one night. Sometimes I make an exception or two, depending on the girl and how good the sex really was, but most of the time, I just tell them I'll call them, just to get them the hell out of my loft and out of my life once and for all. But I'll let you in on a little secret. These girls aren't altogether out of my life. No, they end up being a part of my collection. See, I've got cameras set up all over the loft that record and store the content onto servers and hard drives that are rigged up. When it's time, I'll go and edit the footage and make some quality homemade adult movies that you just can't find anywhere else. Oh, and I can only imagine what kind of quality porno I'll make from Kitty's footage. While I'm thinking about it, getting girls into my bed has been so much better for me since my roommate, Jacob Levine, and his stupid girlfriend Genevieve Van Sant both ended up getting murdered in this loft months ago. Yeah, it freaked me the fuck out. I was staying at Raylene Jones's dorm that night. 1, I forgot a term paper that was there. 2, I'd already had sex with Raylene before I left. As I was about to come into the loft, she called me back and offered to let me spend the night. Guess we both wanted more of each other, and I needed that term paper. So there you go. The funny thing was, I came back here the next day and found this message written in blood that told me I was glad I didn't actually come in. Knowing I had the loft all to myself, I quickly got that blood off the walls and got the room repainted. Since Jacob wasn't here anymore, that meant I could keep whatever he had. I mean, nobody in his family ever came to claim anything. That included all the cameras he'd set up. See, Jacob and Genevieve were making homemade porn together. Yeah, she knew about it because she knowingly looked at the cameras. As for me, I managed to cleverly hide the cameras well enough after I took over the loft. Not a single girl I brought here ever discovered them. But you know what the beauty of being able to make homemade porn is? There are actually a few websites, I won't say which ones, that'll pay some damn good money for these movies. Being a Mirren, I've got more money than I'll ever know what to do with, but enough is never enough, right? Every now and then I'll just sell a video to one of those sites and make some damn good money. As for the girl in the video, who really cares? She ought to be happy that she's getting a lot of attention. Talk about getting to the height of your popularity, and if one of them ends up catching a lot of shit for it, oh well. Come to think of it, Kitty has about the same build as a girl I remember sleeping with that I sold a video of. Catherine Pierce. Not only did Catherine get expelled by the dean of Strickfield University himself, her parents disowned her. Now, I do know the thing about the dean is true, but the thing with her parents might just be rumors. Still, not a single girl ever came back to find me. Why would they? They can't prove that I was in the video. I am very careful to keep my face out of them. All they see is my body, all of her face and body, and all the compromising positions that we did. What are they going to do? Take me to court and sue me? Let them try. What people fail to understand is that I'm Calvin Mirren. That's right, I belong to the rich and powerful Mirren family. We've got so much money that we actually own a whole section of Strickfield Commons, a housing community made up of mostly rich people on the east side of Strickfield. We even have our own section walled off to separate ourselves from everybody else. It's been said that we're the top 1% of the top 1%. That's the kind of money I'm talking about. Just being a Mirren means that I can get away with pretty much whatever I want. But okay, I'm getting too much into myself here, which isn't really a bad thing. Kitty and I finish our morning sex. I roll off her and onto my back. Then Kitty turns over and gets on top of me. "Happy Halloween," she cheers. Then she kisses me. I go ahead and kiss her some more. No, I can't let this girl become a part of my life, but she's so fucking hot. Okay, maybe I can keep her around a little while longer. I have made a few exceptions like this in the past. "You're in a pretty good mood today," I say. She pecks my lips. "Well, we just had fucking incredible sex, and it's Halloween! I love Halloween. That means trick-or-treating and all kinds of other fun things like parties, ooh, and costumes." I roll my eyes. "Oh, come on. You're telling me you go trick-or-treating?" She groans. "Don't you dare roll your eyes at me, Calvin. Strickfield has their yearly tradition of trick-or-treating. It's not just for kids here. Anybody can do it. No questions asked, no judgments." She's telling the truth. Many years ago, Strickfield got to be this big Halloween town, in addition to being a big college town. Normally, in most other parts of the country, trick-or-treating is basically limited to just kids. But in Strickfield, it doesn't matter how old you are. Anybody's welcome to do it. People of all ages drive in from other towns just to trick-or-treat right here. Just don't ever think about coming to our part of town to do it. The gates of our part of Strickfield Commons are never open, unless we want them open. Okay, you're going trick-or-treating, I reply. Well, not just me, Kitty reveals. I've got my 2 roommates coming too, Jamie and Lena. We're gonna go trick-or-treating and then to a Halloween party afterwards. Sounds like fun, I say, just to make conversation. Then, Kitty's face brightens up. Oh my God, you should totally come with us tonight. Come on, it'll be fun. I raise my hand a little and shake my head. No, I don't think so. I'm not much into Halloween. Kitty moves and sits on me. I have to admit, I love Kitty's naked body from this angle. Then she caresses her tits just a little. I know my girls would just love to meet you. They're going to ask why I never came home last night. Come on, baby. They're both hot like me. It'll be so much fun. Fine. Kitty's just guaranteed another night with me tonight. To be honest, I won't mind taking this fully stacked babe to bed again. Kitty squeals with delight and finally gets off me. I actually let her take a shower here, which I usually never let girls I don't want to see again do. I get in the shower with her and we make out some more. When we finish, we both get dressed, then we make arrangements on where to meet. Then we go our separate ways. For the time being. That night, I'm waiting for Kitty at Wilder Hall. I'm wearing my costume, which is a pirate. I just finish with an energy drink and toss the can away when I see Kitty coming in through the doors on the other side. She has 2 other girls with her. Kitty points to me, and then the 3 of them come to see me. Glad you decided to come, Kitty says excitedly. Of course she would be dressed up as a sexy kitty cat, a full form-fitting bodysuit that tells me she's still not wearing underwear and shows a lot of her ample cleavage, a long tail, stiletto boots, and cat ears on her head. Seeing all 3 of these babes in my sight at once, imagine if I could get all 3 of them together in my loft. I'll bet one of the sites would pay big money for a video of me and the 3 of them. Kitty motions to the girl on her right. This is Jamie. She's dressed up like a sexy nurse, seemingly plastic uniform that shapes to her voluptuous body nicely. White knee-high boots, a pink wig, and more cleavage. Then Kitty motions to her left. And this is Lena. She's dressed up like a sexy version of Little Red Riding Hood. Revealing outfit with more cleavage, face nicely made up, red pantyhose with garter belts, red shoes, and red hair. Dyed, maybe. Kitty and Jamie have those plastic pumpkin baskets. Lena has a small picnic basket that matches her costume. All I brought was a pillowcase. Ready to go, babe? Kitty asks. Oh, I'm definitely ready, I assured her. The 4 of us leave Wilder Hall and go trick-or-treating. We go up and down 1 block and then several others. These girls want to get as much candy as they possibly can. We all end up getting some good hauls. Along the way, I learned some things about Jamie and Lena. Turns out Jamie's into having a good time more than anything. I'm definitely looking to hook up at our little party tonight, she says in her sexy voice. I'm always looking to play the nurse and let a good doctor take my temperature. Then she winks at me. Now I feel Lena move up right next to me. Oh, but Jamie, why should he limit himself to your bubble butt when he could have these? Lena makes sure nobody's around before she pulls down her top and shows me what she's packing in her upper basket. She covers them back up shortly after. You total slut! Jamie cries and unzips her top a little to show me her perfect tits. Then she covers them back up. I'm more put together than you are anyways. Kitty groans. Come on, you 2. The cops are out here patrolling tonight. We don't need to be getting arrested before we can go to our party. Oh, shit. You're right, Lena agrees. Then she wraps her arm around mine. You are coming to our party when we're done trick-or-treating, right? Well, some deliberate wishy-washiness. Remember, you have to make it about the girls if you want to get laid. Jamie wraps up my other arm. Of course he is, especially since I'm going to be the one fucking him tonight. But Kitty has something to say about that. Bitches, if anybody in our little motley trio here is taking him to bed, again, it's going to be yours truly, so back the fuck off. Now I get to hear these three fight and argue about who's going to be the lucky one. Yeah, I definitely want all three of them. I just have to work my charms on them, but I'm sure I can easily pull this off. Besides, 3 girls at once isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? I'm already imagining the kind of money I'll get for this foursome video. It's time to make this about them, if I want to make this about me. So, what do you lovely ladies do? I mean, I know you're students. Kitty told me you all were. What are you all majoring in? Turns out they're all former med students who came to Strickfield University on scholarships because of the excellent medical program there. Now they've moved on to bigger and better things, applying what they've learned. I've definitely slept with plenty of med students. I even took a class in medical terminology just to be able to keep up with their conversations. They each tell me about the medical fields they're in. None of them say anything about being nurses, but the only one who says she's a surgeon is Kitty. At Strickfield, I clocked in some decent class hours just doing surgeries. What have you operated on recently? I asked Kitty. I actually had to do kidney removals a couple of days ago, she says. The patient I was working on had non-functioning kidneys. I had to remove them both. The patient is on machines now, waiting for new donor kidneys. Once they come, I'll be putting them in. My eyes widened a little. Is doing surgery scary? Kitty shrugs. A little. But then it's always scary when you're doing different surgeries for the first time. I mean, you're always afraid you're going to fuck something up. At least when I was at Strickfield University, Dr. Pratt was there to supervise me for every surgery I performed. Jamie giggles. Probably letting him take her temperature afterwards. Oh, fuck you, Kitty groans. It was never like that. It was strictly a mentor-student relationship between us. So we keep talking it up until it's 11 o'clock and trick-or-treating is officially over. Now it's time to get to the Halloween party, Jamie cheers. Where are we going again? Lena asks. To Shaker's, where else? Kitty answers. Remember, we're having a private party there. In fact, we're not far from Shaker's now. Kitty's right, Shaker's is only a block walk away from here. As soon as we get there, there's just one van in the parking lot. Usually this place is hopping on every holiday, or any reason to celebrate something. I remember picking up chicks from here every Halloween, and it's always packed. When we get to the door, there's a sign that says, "Closed for a private event." As soon as we get to the door, it opens and the owner comes out. The owner and Kitty exchange some pleasantries. Then the owner hands her the keys and tells her to make sure to clean up and lock up before leaving. Kitty promises she'll bring the keys by first thing. The 4 of us go inside. Kitty locks the door behind us. Then we put their hauls of candy down on a table. I turn to face them. Wait a minute. There isn't anybody else coming? Nope, Kitty chirps. It's just the 4 of us. Lena moves to the jukebox. Whoa, there's nothing but Halloween songs in here. Go ahead and play whatever you want. No quarters needed, Kitty tells her. This place is paid for and is all ours for the night, including the jukebox, pool tables, video games, and all the food and alcohol we want. As soon as Lena gets some Halloween tunes going, Jamie steps behind the bar. What do you all want? You're a bartender? I ask her. Not here, but it's great spending cash when I'm working, she says. We give Jamie our drink orders, which she makes up quite professionally. So now we're dancing to Halloween music and drinking and having an awesome time. After a while, we're all starting to feel a little drunk. Lena starts laughing and climbs up onto the bar when a Halloween song with a really fast beat starts playing. She's dancing it up as she's taking more sips of her drink. Jamie looks up at her and grins. Then she and Kitty both start squealing loudly when Lena exposes her tits. Kitty hops up onto the bar with her and dances, exposing her ample assets too. I feel Jamie's hand on my forearm. I look to her and see she's got her tits out also. How about another drink, honey? I quickly down the rest of my glass and hand it to her. Top me off, pretty lady. Jamie gives me a very sexy smile and turns around to make my drink. I keep my eyes on the show above me. Then my eyes grow wide as Kitty and Lena come together and lock lips. They kiss hungrily for a little bit before Jamie returns with my drink. Then Jamie also gets on top of the bar and starts dancing. All three of them take turns kissing each other in front of me as I take sips of my refill. Man, what I am going to have tonight, I say to myself. I down my drink and keep watching the show. After a little bit, I start to wonder if maybe I should have slowed down on my drinks. I try to keep my composure and keep watching the show. It's when I see Lena wrapping her arms around Kitty from behind that I'm really starting to lose my grip on things more. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear I was feeling really tired. It's becoming harder and harder to focus on these three sex kittens. Then I can't help myself. I just lower my head on the bar and feel myself fade away. As I'm starting to wake up, I'm feeling really cold. I have to force myself to wake up completely. I have to see where those three lovelies are. But they're not here. What the fuck? I groan. I see that I'm in a bathroom that looks like it's in some cheap motel somewhere. Then I look down to see the tub is completely filled with ice. What the fuck? I yell. I'm ready to pull myself out, but then I see a little table next to the tub. My smartphone's on it and has a message taped to it. Do not leave the tub. Call 911 for an ambulance now. I don't fuck around and quickly call 911. I tell the operator what's going on, and I don't know where I am. She's able to trace the call and says she's sending an ambulance now. When I finish the call, I just sit here and wait. It's only a matter of minutes before I hear the door to the motel room opening up. Then 2 paramedics come in. They both gasp in surprise when they see my situation. They quickly come to me and look me over. Then one of them points behind me. Look at this! The other paramedic comes over and sees what his partner sees. What? I demanded. What is it? Then they both look me in the face. We need to get you to the hospital. Stat, one of them says. We'll go get a stretcher and come right back. So now I'm stuck here at Strickfield General Hospital. I just can't believe this shit. I'm stuck here in this fucking hospital bed with all this shit hooked up to me. The paramedics brought me here. The doctor looked at my back and quickly examined me, told me that I had fresh stitches in my lower back that looked professionally done. After an x-ray, I practically shit myself when the doctor told me my fucking kidneys are gone. Yeah, that's right. I'm fucking stuck here until I can get at least one new kidney, which I'm told could take quite a long time since I'm on a fucking waiting list and they have to wait for a kidney donor match for me. I keep telling these fuckers, I'm Calvin Mirren. I don't belong on a fucking waiting list. A lot of good my name does me now. Just then, the nurse brings me what looks like a tablet and says it was sent here with specific instructions to give it to me. I snatch the tablet from her and glare at her for a minute before she leaves. I turn on the tablet and see only a few apps. I tap the one that says, Play Me First, and immediately recognize one of the porn videos I made. I see the familiar face and now know who Kitty is. She was definitely Catherine Pierce. Not long after her video posted, she got in some serious shit with the dean at Strickfield University and ended up being expelled. I tap the app that says, Play Me Second, and see a second porn video that I made. And then I recognize Jamie, or rather, Belinda James. She ended up in the same boat as Catherine, went before the dean, ended up getting expelled, became disgraced. Parents threw her out. Not my problem. The Play Me Third app just brought up a PDF of a term paper. I saw the big red words, copied from another student, written all over the paper, and discovered that Lena was really Raylene Jones. The night Jacob and Genevieve were both murdered, I went back to her dorm and spent the night with her. We were both in the same world history class and had a term paper due. I stole her term paper, retyped it in my own words, and submitted it as my own. When she reprinted and submitted her paper, the professor later sent it to the dean. Raylene pled her case, but she got expelled anyway. I tap, play me fourth, and get a video of the three of them. No Halloween costumes. Catherine had grown her hair longer than I remembered, and dyed it black. I remember Catherine was a blonde. Raylene and Belinda had been wearing wigs. They both have shorter brown hair. Catherine speaks up first. Surprise, asshole! Now you know what this is about. You took from us, disgraced us. So we took from you. Belinda speaks up next. You have all the money in the world, yet you just kept right on taking. It wasn't enough for you to exploit us for your sexual gain. You had to keep exploiting us for even more. Well, like Catherine said, now we exploited you. Do you have any idea how much a pair of perfectly good kidneys like yours sell for on the black market? Raylene speaks now. Must have been nice to have slept with me and then get away with stealing my term paper and submitting it as your own, all while pinning what you did on me. You took from us and didn't give a shit, but guess what? You're going to be stuck in that hospital bed for probably a very long time, and then there's going to be another place you're going to be stuck in for a very long time, if you ever get another kidney. Tap the last app, and you'll see. I tap the Finish Me app and see a video of the police going through my loft and finding all the cameras. Another angle shows them finding my hard drives and servers with all my homemade porn videos. Then I hear Catherine in the background. Maybe you'll rot in prison, and maybe you won't, but we took our revenge against you. Oh, and don't bother trying to look for us. We're somewhere you'll never find us. We're applying our medical experience on the black market now, so we'll just keep looking for more rich pieces of shit like you and harvesting whatever's needed. So, this Halloween, you got the trick, and we got the treats. Thanks for your pillow sack of candy, by the way. Also, that patient I was telling you about will benefit greatly from your kidneys. In fact, I'm putting them in right now as you're watching these apps. Have a nice life, whatever's left of it. The video ends, and then the apps all disappear. The next thing I know, 2 detectives from the Strickfield Police Department are here to see me. And I'm sure they're not here to ask me if I'm all right. And how you like that? We get a little extra twist, a little bit of that urban legend twist that I enjoy so much, and I've really enjoyed over the past few months having Rob Fields write some stories that take a new twist on some old urban legends. So I hope you enjoyed that one. I sure did, and I want to thank you guys. We have had a huge boost to listenership in October. I wonder why, right? But if you enjoyed this, please check out our previous 49 episodes, because today was episode 50, and we'll be hitting our 1-year anniversary on Halloween. So that's why we'll have 5 episodes this month, an episode every Wednesday, and a special, very special episode on Halloween. A Halloween special, really. Don't act like you don't love Halloween specials as much as everybody else, because nothing beats Treehouse of Terror with The Simpsons, or really, when I was a kid, Nickelodeon from the moment October started was amazing, because it was just what you loved, but spooky. So thank you guys for tuning in, and please, if you're enjoying this, subscribe, go to weeklyspooky.com, find out how you can support us, or just check out more cool content, get a t-shirt, whatever you may want. We also have a Patreon, which you can check out. And speaking of Patreon, I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon podcast boosters, Karen Ouimet, Jack Kerr, Jeff Hilton, Craig Cohen, Rob Fields, and Kevin Fry. Thank you guys for helping me keep the show going for nearly a year and into the spooky season, which is what we're all about here. So anyway, my friends, I'm going to get out of here. Until next Wednesday, please stay safe, but keep it spooky as best you can, because spooky season is the best season. And for myself, for our composer Ray Mattis, and our producer Dan Wilder, I will talk at you later, my friends.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to find your way back next week. But for now, you are safe. Trust me. Are you still here? Go now, before it's too late.